got a couple things going on. A little something we want to show you. And I think it's going to be very exciting, especially for those of you who have not yet torrented it in bits. Raise your hands if you've managed to stay completely unspoiled about what we're about to see tonight. Here's everything that's going to happen. Lame of me. But if it would hurt you, it would make me laugh. Obviously, we also have another guest who's going to be coming in, but first I just want to natter on and talk about myself for a little bit because I'm so interesting. Been a busy year. Made a TV show, then made a movie and some comic books. Now we're making the TV show again. Not really sure how that happened. Actually, I am exactly sure how that happened, and I'm looking at the reason right now. So. There's never been a time when the public can make its voice heard like now, and they made themselves heard just then. I like where they're going with it, but literally, you know, the people who cared about the show, and especially who owned TiVo, tipped the scales that otherwise would not have. The fact that the fans have trusted us, have come on this journey with us, and continue to do so, has been something that made the studio who produced the show stand up and say, we want more of this, we want to keep it alive, whatever it takes. So thank you guys.
What you're currently reading to have inspiration for the show, or if you have anything that you've already read that has been influencing the show?
Wired. That's pretty much what I read and what I have time for. I'm reading Julie and Julia, but I haven't come up with a lot for the show from it. But yeah, don't rule it out. I'll have Eliza going, bon appetit! Swoops.
My question is for Eliza. I wanted to know which of the characters you've enjoyed playing most during season 1.
That was so fast. That was like one long scene. Well, the characters that I love most, let's see. I mean, I'm a tomboy, some of you may know. So I do like when I'm sort of in action, and I loved Man on the Street. I loved all the characters in that. Joss loved the doily dress so much. It was a little bit insane. But also I had a really nice time shooting Haunted with Olivia Williams. That was a favorite. And the last episode was kind of awesomeness as well, with Alan as Alpha and as Crystal, the like old sort of white trash girl. That was a good one.
For Joss, during the writing process, was there a particular point when somebody else came up with something that made you think?
I haven't had a thought in years. Running on fumes. Is there more to that, or was that it? Just think.
And something that you were fascinated by or made you think in ways you hadn't thought of before?
The staff are really there as stenographers. No, this is without a doubt the best first-year staff I've ever had. It's a room full of brains. Just floating brains in jars, and And so much of everything you've seen, including a lot of what you saw today, didn't come from me. I really feel like this, more than any other show, is a real round table, and it's always open to the next idea, and we just pass it around and pass it around. The people I'm collaborating with, I'm so grateful for. I get to sit up here and be all fabulous, but this is truly a group effort, and every one of them has made a contribution that I wish I'd thought of and was grateful not to have to.
You addressed a lot of social issues in a medium of science fiction, and season 1 of Dollhouse seemed to be setting up the world, but how are you going to incorporate issues of social justice further in this series?
Well, as you can see from this lost episode, everything turns out fine. It's just fun and games. What? Yes. More and more we're interested in dealing with the abuse of power and the various ways that people can do that, and what it will really bring out in our characters when they're pushed to the edge.
Yes, those of us who follow your career often see familiar faces, and I'm just wondering if that has affected your creative process to where now sometimes the people you work with actually help inspire your creations rather than after you create, you then think of actors you've worked with.
This is something I can't stress enough. The way I talked about the writer's room is, with being a round table, being a circle. This is how my creative life exists. It exists because of a community. And everything I see from them informs everything I do. The show was created because I said, I know Eliza can be sophisticated and funny and sexy and strange and different and colorful and blind and all these things that she's not going to get to play unless I get to play with her. Not just the writers, but absolutely other actors as well. We were at the Guild panel this morning, and I brought up Dr. Horrible, and it was Felicia singing in her little Christmas episode that made me want her to play Penny in Dr. Horrible. So I see things, and then the idea to have her in this episode actually came from Sarah Fain. When we had an actress who fell out, and we were like, we need someone that we just absolutely know is reliable and wonderful and can get it done. And she's like, well, there is this redhead we wanted for Women's Murder Club. And I'm like, yeah? Oh, right. So embarrassed that I hadn't thought of it. This extends to other mediums as well. We were doing Buffy, and on one day of shooting Spike, in a flashback, we came up with the idea for Tales of the Vampires and Tales of the Slayers and all of that stuff. And the next day we came up with an idea to do the Shakespeare readings, just because of all the different things we were seeing. And James's energy as an actor, and Doug Petrie's as a comic book fan. And this year, all bets are off. Last year it was, well, we've got Eliza, and also Amy came to play, so we didn't want to make it seem like we were favoring certain people. I don't care.